Hello guys, and welcome back to another episode of Morland's Allotment. So today I thought it's the last day in June, I better do an update. Here we go. So before we begin our walkabout, I just wanted to insert some footage to remind everybody of what the plot looked like when we picked up the keys in January of this year and what it looks like today. I think it's come on a long way since we first had it. I'm not alone on the allotment today. My plot neighbour Barry's here. Say hello, Barry.
Hello there.
How long have you been on the allotment, Barry?
How long was that here, Bill? 40 years? 1973. 1973.
There you go. The voice from beyond is Bill.
Yeah. Do we look that old?
No, you look like young chicks. What are you doing today, Barry?
Just weeding the beetroot.
Got some rows of beetroot in there. Do you pickle yours, Barry?
Well, Barbie used to do. I don't think I shall just eat it. I shall give it away. I shall never
Sure,
eat
yeah.
all this.
I think it's quite nice roasted.
Oh, roasted.
Lovely bit of roast beef.
Right,
Have to give it a go.
I'll give that a go, yeah.
Give it a go.
Yeah.
Right, so here we are. First thing I will show you is my pea bed. So these are alderman peas. Gotta say, I'm really pleased with these. I think I can safely say that peas have been a success. The plant is absolutely dripping with pods, both sides. A good size, and the frame is over 6 foot and they're outgrowing that, so really happy. So yeah, next to those we have some mange 2 and some sweet peas. Really happy about these sweet peas have turned out actually. I just threw them in, not too much care and attention went into them, but they smell beautiful. Next to them we've got the mange 2 growing. Not as robust plants as the alderman, but obviously a different variety, so they're not meant to be. But we have picked a lot of those. Been chucking them into stir fries, mainly. When they do go over, they're still nice to eat as peas. We've got some down here, as you can see. So that's gone over, but they're still nice to eat as peas. Go around the other side and show you this. Those are some nasturtiums I popped in, companion planting, thinking that the cabbage whites will enjoy that and leave my cabbages alone. They don't seem to have been badly affected actually. Next to that I've got 3 plants of the climbing squash, tromboncino. You can see the little female flowers there. They grow quite long. Let's hope some have pollinated. Here are my parsnips that I direct sowed. A bit sporadic, but what have come up, so I'll take that. Better to have something than nothing. We've got a good dozen plants to sow now that are coming on well. I did reseed since we had some big gaps. So I've got some coming up, little babyer ones. There's another one over there. Those are gladiators. Oh, I've just seen a friend. And make up that little ladybird there. So yeah, those are looking quite good. A few empty patches, but that's gardening. Same's happened with the carrots really. I've got this mesh up to protect it from the carrot fly. So I did 3 rows, and as you can see, been quite successful at the top, big bushy lot. And then not so much down that side for some reason. I'm wondering if actually these are ready to harvest now, because we've been in for a while. I can see the tops. I'm wondering if they might be ready to harvest. I might pull one. Got some forking going on there. leave them a bit longer, but not bad. A bit of forking doesn't bother me, they're only going in the pot. Got some marigolds in that bed too. Bit of companion planting. And actually there's no sign of any pests on that. So although it could have been in a bit longer, all looks healthy and good. But yeah, those are the marigolds. Again, even the marigolds are not happy down this bottom half. But where I have put some more seed in, the carrots are coming back up. So, point with my carrot here and here, all down the row. So next to the carrots we've got a row of zinnia. I didn't think they were going to do much, but they've just come on all of a sudden. So we've got some lime greens and some pink Oklahomas. They're nice to pick for the vase, but let them get going a bit first. Lots of buds on them, so we've got the first flowers out, and then lots and lots of side shoots. The potatoes have been great. I've already harvested a bucket of those, a bucket of Charlottes. They were lovely. They have flowered and the flowers have died back now. There are 3 different varieties. There were Swift, Charlottes and pink fir apples. So I've already had the potatoes out of that bucket and cut back the green on that this morning. So I'm going to be harvesting that later. So if I remember, I'll pop a little bit of footage of what potatoes we get out of that bucket. But yeah, been doing really well. I'm going to use this empty compost bag to harvest my potatoes. So here's a bucket that I've already taken the tops off. Let's have a look. Yes, some lovely potatoes. Nice Sunday lunch out of those. Those are the original seed potatoes. I'm just going to put the spent compost back in the bucket for now, and then I shall sieve that out. I'll probably reuse it for a second year and just add lots of fertiliser. As I say, I'll sieve it out and put the stalks on the brown bin, otherwise I'll be growing potatoes all over when I put them in the compost. As you can see, they're beautiful potatoes. Not a mark on them, no scab, no insect damage, beautiful. Quick wash under the tap and a bit of steam, they'll be beautiful. Just before we enter the greenhouse, I've got some straw flowers, which I'm really pleased with. Strange sound if you can hear them. Never grown them before, but they are lovely, really unusual. Of course, I like my symmetry, so a bucket that side too. I love the white one. Right, into the greenhouse. I'm really pleased with progress inside here. So the first tomatoes we see are the Costaluto Florentina that I did for the single seed challenge. It's doing fab. Lots of fruit on there. I've let it go to 2 stems because the greenhouse is a bit shorter than a polytunnel. And as you can see, it's not let me down. Covered in fruit. I shall harvest those today. I've already harvested some previously as well. So lots of fruit there. I'm thinking I'm going to pinch out the tops now and let what fruit's on there develop and ripen. Let these other flowers come out. Yeah. Fab. Next on the agenda we have my old favourites, which are Sungold. They're always good doers. If I could only grow one variety of tomato, it would be the Sungold. I've grown them for a few years at home. So yeah, some trusses of lovely tomatoes there. Those ones are ripe. Some on there are ripe as well. More trusses of fruit that will ripen off once the ripe ones have been picked. Lovely and ripe. That one's gone a bit past, missed it. The rest are beautiful. It's the thing with Sungold, you have to harvest them quite quickly, as they do have a tendency to split. And what I found with homegrown tomatoes, because they're not sprayed with a chemical like the supermarkets, they don't last that long, so you've got to enjoy them pretty quickly. But it is important to take the ripe ones off the plant so that the other ones ripen. I went for the Sungold because I know they're good doers, as were the Brad's Atomic Grape for me. You can make that out, there's lots of fruit on that. How do you know when they're ripe? I'm thinking I'm going to pick some of them because they're very black. And then obviously these are in these smaller ones are not yet fully ripe. But again, lots of fruit. Really happy with that. I've gone to 2 stems. Really healthy, happy plants. I think the shade netting we put in has really helped. I also think that having the tomatoes straight in ground rather than in raised beds or tomato bags or buckets has really helped, because there's been days when I've not been able to get up here, and believe me, it is a warm spot. So the combination of the shade cloth with the in-ground planting has really helped. I've not had any blossom end rot, touch wood, or drying out, and they've remained really vigorous, healthy, happy plants. I've fed them once a week since they've been in flower with Tomarite. Some more companion planting going on. The marigolds that I did from seed, doing better in the polytunnel than they are in the carrot bed. And this next one is also a new one. This one is Barry's Crazy Cherry. And wow, it's got some flowers on it. I'm not sure how much fruit is setting. See if we can find some. Oh, yeah. So we have got some fruits forming, not as well developed as the other varieties just yet. Give them time. Again, very healthy plants. Move these chairs. Next to the tomatoes, I've got an in-ground bell pepper plant. This one's yellow bell. Got lots of fruit coming. Growing nicely. But yeah, it's just a case of letting that grow and ripen. I've just been feeding the tomatoes and all the peppers with tomato food once a week. Now the chilies for me have been the star of the show. Absolutely brilliant. This one is bird's eye. Maybe you can make out, there's literally hundreds of chilies on this plant, and we have picked some. think the ones closer to the window are ripening, so I'll harvest a good amount of those today, the red ones. And even though they're little, they do pack some punch. Beautiful. The size of the pot they're in. And I've kept them in this tray so I can keep it topped up with water if I'm not going to be up for a day. It's working quite well. And next to that, we've got my Palavics. Let's look at those. I've already been harvesting from this plant. And it's just absolutely smothered. Just in a pot, not a massive pot, but very happy. Yeah. I do make sure that I sterilise the pruners in between clipping from each plant. It's just a clean rag with a 1 part bleach to 10 parts water solution. Just make sure you're not transferring anything from plant to plant should there be a problem. Beautiful. And these Palavics, I've grown them for a few years. They freeze really well too. These are from the Real Seed Company, so they're heirlooms. Next door to that we've got a habanero. That's got lots of flowers. And it's just starting to grow the fruit there. You can see that little one there. They're a little bit behind the others. But I'm hopeful with the amount of flowers that we're going to get a good harvest from that. And next door to that, in a tiny little pot that I always meant to pot on, are sweet banana peppers. Got some strawberries down here. The strawberries have been good. This one was a bit behind, so I've popped it in the extra warmth to see if we can get some fruit. I've got some flowers now. Next to that is my cucumber plant. I've been harvesting cucumbers now for a good couple of weeks, and I'm not kidding, you get a cucumber a day at least. These have been picked about 3 times already this week. And they've got to come off as well. There's no shortage of cucumbers, that's for sure. Just got that climbing up an impromptu frame made of bamboo and string. It's doing quite well. That's in a big bucket, one of the potato buckets. Quite happy. This pepper here, again, is in a pot. I meant to put it in ground, but you know what happens, sometimes you don't. But look, the fruits on that are actually further developed than the one in ground. So I can't complain. Lots of fruit on that. There's a big one. This is a red one. So obviously they've got to ripen up a bit yet. I'm very pleased with those. Got some melons. They're just in little buckets. I'm going to transfer those into a potato bucket. Those are Sugar Baby watermelons. And that one is one of the Minnesota midget melons. So lots of flowers. Let's hope that some of these female flowers have been pollinated. But yeah, I've got to say I'm really happy with this greenhouse. We've put some time and effort into fixing her up. But boy, has she paid us back. Really successful harvest in there already. And as I say, we're still in June, so lots of time to go. Right, the rest of the garden. Let's have a look here. So here we've got my Brussels sprouts. Those are coming on quite nice, so you can see through the netting. Just got the formings of some tiny little sprouts coming now on the stems. You can pick that out. See if I can get a better angle. That might be a bit better. You can make that out. I have got some Brussels sprouts forming. Hopefully we shall have some homegrown Brussels for Christmas dinner, because the ones I had from the supermarket last year were bland. Not everything's a success, as you know, on a garden. At the end I did have some purple sprouting broccoli that was doing fantastic, but it's bolted in the hot weather, so I've taken it out, put seeds everywhere, and popped in this celeriac I grew from seeds. So it does look like it's starting to bulb up, so that's good. Let's have a look at this top bit. These bags here are wood chippings that we've used for the path, so that's got to go down yet. If you remember, if you've seen the other videos, I put the little raised salad beds in, but this spot has proved too hot really, so a lot of the things have bolted. Did grow fantastically early on. The red lettuce is coped fine. The green lettuce, as you can see, is bolting. There's a row of spinach up here, but that's bolted in the heat, so I've taken it out. I did manage to get some harvest off it beforehand. Radishes, they've all been eaten, they were lovely. So these are little gem lettuce. Planted too many really, because you don't have to pick the whole thing. I've been picking the leaves. I've taken a couple out there and give them to friends, but picking the leaves and just keep growing, so little and often I think. Spring onions have been fab. Feels like I've been pulling these up forever and putting them in all sorts of dishes, and they still keep giving. So those are the red spring onions, and those are the Ishikura ones. Up from that we got chard. That's fared much better in this hot spot than the spinach did, so I've been using that in the same way, just picking some of the outer leaves. And next to that, a couple of rows of, I've gone for golden beetroot. One of the other channel makers, I can't remember who it was, said that golden beetroot was sweeter, so I thought I might as well give it a go. Have a look at these strawberries. So these are the strawberries I rescued from the plot. I have been picking them, and as you can see, we've got some more ready for picking today. So those have done nicely, just netted over because of the birds. I've popped a bit of cardboard under there so that the fruit's not directly on the soil. That seems to be working. I did have these strawberries in this frame. So these are the Toscana strawberries with the pink flowers, and they were in that frame there, but in the heavy winds we've been having, they've blown over. They do look really healthy. Some strawberries there. I'm going to have some strawberries and cream for tea, Frank, I think. Lovely. Sunflowers. Really pleased with those. They've been flowering for a couple of weeks now, and they're doing exactly what I wanted. I wanted them as a backdrop to the plot. But yeah, beautiful. Multi-headers, so there's one head fade, to just chop it off and it gives us some more. As we always have here lurking around, some spare onions that I didn't have time to go in. Probably use them as sets next year now. And some marigolds. I'm going to actually put them in the carrot bed where the others have failed. It's my one and only courgette, and this is what my plot neighbour Steve gave to me. It's been producing as a courgette a day. Oh, that one wants picking for definite. Huge. So I'll take him out. This path's got to be sorted out. That's what the remaining bags of wood chip are for. So we're going to hoe this over and then cardboard it out. Hollyhocks, what we've popped in, they're in flower, or one of them is. Bees are liking those. Beautiful colour. Now, onions have been a mixed bag. I believe we have the dreaded allium leaf miner invasion. You can see where some of them have gone curly. Right here, where they've gone curly, I believe they're infected with the allium leaf miner, and in fact the bulbs haven't grown much because of it, so they're going to have to come up and be burnt because you can't compost those. And also I won't be able to grow onions in this patch for a good few years. And I have a few we can salvage, some of them bulbing up nice. They're quite healthy. Those are the golden bears, they don't seem to have been affected. The red onions seem to be worse affected. And the shallots, they've been affected quite badly by it. So no shallots. You win some, you lose some. The pumpkin arch is coming along quite nicely. We've got 2 Jack Littles on each side and 1 baby boo. I think that's right on each side. Have a closer look. Those have definitely taken. Yeah, a couple of good Jack Littles there. More flowers. Ooh, what was that, guy? Somebody tell me, is that a pumpkin borer or something hideous? I like the look of that. So yeah, the Jack Littles are taking. The baby boos, a bit more temperamental, but I found that in previous years. So as you can see why that one is going to rot off, it's not been pollinated. Plenty of Jack Littles over here. Oh, we've got some baby boos pollinated down there. You can see one growing. Hee, happy with that. More over here. Where shall we go next? I've got to say the overall system of the garden's working well. So we've got the 4-foot beds with the paths in between in the wood chip, and weeding's been not too pressured because, you know, if you say to yourself, right, I'm going to weed the cabbages today, or I'm going to weed the swede, then it doesn't seem so bad as looking at a whole patch. Next door to the sprouts, we have another brassica bed. Remember me popping those in. So these are swede. You can see beneath the leaves, but they're taking quite nicely. I'm going to lift this net up because the camera's struggling to focus. So you can see there, rutabaga, swede, some of us call them. They are forming quite nicely. Those are the American red tops. Got a row of those. And next door to that we've got the curly kale. For those eagle-eyed viewers, you'll realise that these started off life somewhere else. They were under the plum tree at the bottom of the plot, but wasn't a sunny enough position, so I popped them in a row there and they're doing much better. Been taking leaves off those and mainly eating them roasted with a bit of olive oil. Beautiful. I just find something so satisfying in seeing tidy paths and neat rows of veg. Perhaps it's just me. Do any of you guys feel the same way? Make sure we pin that back down as the cabbage whites will be having a field day. Now, in contrast to my style of gardening with the straight lines and regimented beds, we have fallow plot owners Phil and Edna. So I'll just take you through Barry's plot into theirs and you can see what I mean. Phil and Edna have a very different style of gardening. Whereas I have designated crop beds, they choose to grow their crops in amongst their flowers, the cottage garden style allotment, and I think it's fabulous. Here's Bill, the owner. Hello, Bill. How long have you had your plot, Bill?
Pardon?
How long have you had your plot?
1973.
A good while then.
A good while,
It's
yes.
an established plot.
Yeah.
I was just saying it as a credit to you and your wife, Edna. It's beautiful.
Working at it.
You're getting there.
Yeah. SUV.
That's it. Keep on. Don't give up.
Never give up.
I like how you see When you have a look, you've just got the produce amongst the flowers, so you've got some little strawberries growing.
Have some of them for tea.
I've just picked some off mine. Got lots of currants.
Red currant.
Beautiful. Beautiful. You know, we haven't done bad for slugs, have we, this year?
No, well, what it is, come over here. Hedgehog house.
Oh, I never noticed that.
So we rescued a baby hedgehog in the autumn. My next door neighbour found him. We put him in the hedgehog house and he's survived. There's a total of 3 hedgehogs that come about.
Oh.
A fox comes about.
And this is why we don't use slug pellets.
And it's working.
Brilliant. And you got the pond. Have you got any frogs in your pond?
Yep, there's frogs in the pond. Must be about, I don't know, 12, 13. There's some
Wow.
popping their heads out there. There. Popping their heads out.
Oh yeah, so there is. Gorgeous.
The wood just come past.
Beautiful. It's a bee paradise, isn't it? But if you can peel your eyes from the flowers, you've got some good crops. Some beans there. Broad beans, I believe. It's nice to see the 2 styles of allotments. You've got the formal vegetable beds and the cottage garden style, and I love them both.
The hedgehogs come for a drink regularly, and the blackbirds, robin, goldfinch.
A lot of bird life, beautiful.
They get attracted by the tree down into the pond. It's all well.
It does, definitely.
And the blackbirds eat slugs.
Yes. I absolutely love this place.
Oh,
So it's lovely to pop up here. Yeah, no. Well, thank you for that, guys.
it's okay.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
And for our 3rd row of brassicas here, we have the cabbage. Oh, and some cauliflower on the end. So these first 6 plants here are collies. Look, nice healthy plants. I'm not going to pull the cover back, you can see there. And a lovely row of white cabbage. These are ready now to be harvested. It's one of the reasons I thought I'm going to have to do an update, because I'm going to be taking everything out and it won't look like that we've grown anything. But yeah, beautiful. Look at the size of that. Beautiful big cabbage. Plenty of Sunday lunches there. Beautiful. So these are red cabbages. These are my son-in-law's favourite. So Adam, if you're watching, mother-in-law does care for you. Just starting to heart up as well. Now just below the pumpkin arch we've got the big pumpkins. I've got 3 plants in here. These are a variety called goose pumps, and they are the big warty pumpkins. I thought I won't go for a ordinary smooth one because I can get them from Asda, but these are a little bit more unusual, and I think they're doing quite well. If we peek beneath the leaves, some have definitely taken and are growing. Give us something to look at as the seasons go by. Look at this one. Oh, there's a nice one there, look growing. I'm really pleased with those. Next to them is my pear tree. Now this pear tree is in its 3rd year, and it's the first year it's had any fruit. Was in the home garden in a pot and not doing much, but I popped it up here when it was in blossom. Popped it in the ground. It seems very happy. So yeah, got conference pears. Lots of them forming. Really happy with those. Some of my favourites. That's what I've tried to do this year. I mean, it's the first year on a plot, but I've grown veggies in the home garden. And I'm growing things that I want and that we like. Next to our pumpkin patch, we've got a corn patch. It's coming on quite well. We weeded the bed first and then we decided to put down the black membrane and plant through them just to help with a bit of weed pressure, and it does seem to be working. We do get weeds coming up around the holes, but it's easy, quick fix to pull those out. Yeah, we've done them in a block. 5 plants by 5 plants, apart from we had one missing. One of my seedlings failed. I have grown these from seed. But yeah, those are looking quite good. So we've got the male and the female flowers starting to form. They weren't up last time I come up, so they've come on since. Quite pleased with how they're looking. Next to my brassicas, we've got the beans. The ones with the white flowers at the end are runner beans. The name escapes me, I'll pop it on screen. And these ones this side are the cobra green beans. They're all climbing nicely now. Nice flowers. Next to them we've got a row of broad beans, something I've never grown nor eaten. But yeah, they've got lots of pods on them now. In fact, I think they're ready for picking and eating. We're going to have a big harvest today, I think. I wondered how they'd fare under this big tree, but they've done fine. We've got some flowers there. Pods. I'm going to pull those and have a go. There's our lovely mature plum tree. We've still got to do this bit underneath, that's going to be a fruit section. So that's the next part to tackle really, and that's really the only part of the plot that we haven't done yet. So all this conveyor belting is just to suppress brambles that grow in this area. That'll be removed and taken back to the skip. But yeah, the plums have taken really well. We're going to have some good fruit plum jam. What lovely plums. This is some rhubarb that I've popped in from home. There's going to be a section of rhubarb along here. Only put it in as one sad looking little leaf, but as you can see it's definitely taken, it's forgiven me. This variety of rhubarb is Timperley Early that I popped in from home. I bought this one from home, although there was already some at the plot, because I know this variety is an early variety. And then the one that was already in existence here, the lower flatter leaf, that is Victoria, I believe. I've got some blueberries in pots. These again are from home. So we have got some fruit, quite a bit. Happy with those. A few more pots over there. I'm not going to wade over there through the grass, but hopefully next time I show you this patch it will be beautiful. I've got to say, I am so chuffed with today's harvest. Lots of new potatoes, a couple of types of tomatoes, Palavic chilies, bird's eye chilies, great big cabbage, strawberries, sweet peas for the pot, loads of peas, a couple of cucumbers, and a lonesome carrot. But yeah, fabulous. That's what it's all about. Right, I'm going to say goodbye then for this week. And with that, I'm going to call this vlog to an end. Hope you've enjoyed our update. See you soon.